Hello, nice to meet you again and welcome to Cần Thơ News of Cần Thơ Radio and Television Station. Headline today. After more than 2 working days, with the spirit of democracy, solidarity and high consensus, the 13th National Women's Congress concluded on March 11 morning. The 10th Buddhist Congress in Cần Thơ City for the 2022-2027 term convened in Southern Trúc Monastery. An online conference with 33 promising cities on continuing to implement the General Education Program 2018. Top news. After more than 2 working days with the spirit of democracy, solidarity and high consensus, on March 11 morning in Hanoi, the 13th National Women's Congress concluded with regulations approval of the Vietnam Women's Union amended the resolution of the Congress and the launch of the 13th Vietnam Women's Union Central Executive Committee of 155 members for the 2022-2027 term. Hà Thị Nga, a member of the Party Central Committee, National Assembly Deputy of the 15th Channel, who is also President of the Vietnam Women's Union for the 13th term, was re-elected. Another 4 vice presidents were elected at the same time for the 2022-2027 term. At this Congress, delegates shared plans and proposed many ideas to renew the union's movement, creating the best environment for women to develop in the following term. Notably, 5 issues were discussed as party building, political system building, social mobilization to realize gender equality, building a strong union, building Vietnamese women in the new era, women in the digital economy, and cultivating family values in Vietnam. The delegates also hoped that the union would overcome the limitations in its activities, especially many delegates who also wonder and suggested that the union will have directions to focus on supporting women to assess the ongoing digital transformation process in all fields. With the spirit of solidarity, humanity, creation, development, the 13th National Women's Congress is expected to create breakthroughs in order to strongly arouse the great potential of the women's forces, contributing to realizing the aspiration to build a prosperous and happy Vietnam. On March 11 morning also, at the Southern Trúc Monastery, Mae Khánh Commune from the district, an official meeting of the 10th Buddhist Congress in Cần Thơ City for the 2022-2027 term convened. Mr. Phạm Văn Hiểu, Standing Vice Secretary of Cần Thơ City Party Committee, Co-Chairman of Cần Thơ City People's Council, and Mr. Nguyễn Thực Hiện, Vice Chairman of Cần Thơ City People's Committee, and leaders of departments, sectors, unions, along with 250 official delegates attended. In the 2017-2022 term, the Board of Directors of the Buddhist Church of Vietnam in Cần Thơ City has made great calls for the ordination of 38 monks and nuns during the education and training career. During the tenure, 308 monks and nuns completed the intermediate training program, 148 specialized quality degrees, and many monks and nuns registered to take the entrance exam for the Bachelor of Buddhist Studies at the Buddhist Institute, contributing to the creation of human resources in the church system. With the theme Discipline, Responsibility, Solidarity, Development, the Congress also agreed to set out the operation direction for the new term of 2022-2027. The Congress introduced 56 members to the Executive Board of the Vietnam Buddhist Congress in Cần Thơ City for the 2022-2027 term. Venerable Đào Như was re-elected as head of the Executive Board and nominated 15 people to attend the 9th National Buddhist Congress. On the morning of March 11, Mr. Nguyễn Kim Sơn, Minister of Education and Training, chaired an online conference with 63 provinces and cities on continuing to implement the General Education Program 2018. 2022 is the second year of implementing the 2018 General Education Program nationwide. Specifically, it has been implemented for the first, the second, and the sixth grades, preparing for the 2022-2023 school year to propose for grades 3, 7, and 10, although localities have made efforts to implement the program and achieve some positive results in teaching and learning. but encountered some difficulties such as small schools, lack of classrooms and equipment for practice, particularly teacher resource, especially there is a shortage of teachers of music, fine arts, informatics, foreign languages. Some localities have complied and printed local educational materials, not all schedules are required, and etc. Particularly in Cần Thơ City, the situation of partial shortage and surplus of teachers at all levels still occurs in some units. Standards on classroom area, function room, scale of students, scale of classes, scale of schools in some localities have not met regulations. The percentage of primary school students who can attend 2 lessons per day is not 100%. At the conference, representatives of promising cities suggested that the Ministry of Education and Training directs universities to train teachers with appropriate qualifications to participate in teaching new subjects, natural science, history, and geography. The Ministry of Education and Training shall instruct on the selection of textbooks for the new educational program for music and fine arts, as well as different problems in relation. Leaders of Cần Thơ Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has checked the executive construction progress rate of some water supply projects in the city area, Multifulo. According to the Center for Rural Water Supply and Sanitation in Cần Thơ City, the unit is currently implementing 4 projects to build and upgrade water supply system in the districts of Bến Thành, Cờ Đỏ, Thái Lai, and Phong Điền, with a total length of 495 kilometers. The contract completion time is by October 2022. However, with the ongoing progress, it is expected to be completed about 1 to 2 months or earlier. At inspection, Mr. Nguyễn Văn Sử, Director of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, highly valued the organization and implementation as well as the progress rate of the above projects. In that spirit, the investor is required to continue to accelerate the progress, ensure safety in construction, and coordinate with the construction unit to reduce difficulties and problems so that the projects can be completed soon. According to the leader of the city's Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, with the investment attention of the leaders of the City Party Committee, the People's Council and the People's Committee, the quality of water supply has been significantly improved over the past time, meeting the standards of the Ministry of Health as well as meeting the daily needs of people. Leaders of Bến Thủy district have just gone to survey the reality of works preparing for dredging and clearing in the traffic and irrigation work in the dry season in 2022. The delegation surveyed Sảo Lò Canal in Bình Yên A and Bình Yên B areas, Long Hoa Ward, and Ông Dựa Canal in Long Tuyền Ward. It is expected that these 2 canals will be dredged to clear the flow and reinforce the embankments to prevent overcome landslides and meet the circulation needs of people. The district also prioritized dredging canals located on the river tourism route from Karang Floating Market connecting to Bến Thủy River, Long Ong River, Ông Dựa Canal for tourists to visit ecotourism gardens and production areas of agriculture combined with tourism in the area. As planned, these works will be started in March and be completed in May 2022. On the morning of March 11, Cần Thơ City Public Security held a ceremony to launch the Eternal Tree Planting Festival in gratitude to alcohol in 2022. Major General Nguyễn Văn Thuận, member of the Standing Committee of the City Party Committee, who is also Director of Cần Thơ City Public Security, attended and lent the entire force to implement this plan. To propagate police officers and soldiers in the police force of Cần Thơ City about the meaningful purpose of the tree planting festival in response to the call of below alcohol, and also encouraging cadres and soldiers to be actively participating in planting trees in the premises of the headquarters to create a beautiful green landscape to contribute to the protection of the ecological environment. The launching ceremony received the active participation of police officers and soldiers. Immediately after the launching ceremony, leaders of the Party Committee of the Directorate of Cần Thơ City Public Security planted 7 golden oak trees on the campus of the city's police station, and unions plant 200 pink trumpet trees. Also, Vĩnh District Public Security planted 1,400 golden oak trees and canary trees to create beautiful landscapes in some public roads of the area. Coming up next, the weather forecast. That's all for Cần Thơ News of Cần Thơ Radio and Television Station. Thanks so much for your attention. Please visit us on website kanthtv.vn. Bye for now.